Hello, and welcome to Round Glass. My name is Lisa Kring. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and a long-time committed practitioner of Vipassana Buddhism. And I'm so honored to be part of this special series this week for suicide prevention, creating hope and inspiring change. And today, right now, we're going to explore compassion for all beings, including yourself, starting especially with yourself. And so before we move into the meditation, we're so happy to support and guide you in right now, just opening with a few words for reflection, to get all on the same page together, to come together. And the first question is, have you been suffering? And just take a moment to let that land into the body and into the heart and also into the mind. Have you been suffering? And for almost everyone, the answer is going to be yes. You are never, ever alone when it comes to the human condition of suffering. It comes with the human condition. And what if I told you that the heart had the capacity, it has the capacity to hold the suffering of the entire world with compassion? Perhaps this sounds so hard to believe, but according to the Buddha, this is true. Often it can be easy for all of us. It can be easy for our own heart to open with compassion in response to the suffering of others. But when it comes to ourselves, we can often come up short. Isn't it true? Therefore, in support of ourselves, during this week of suicide prevention, we'll be starting first and foremost, practicing mainly for ourselves, learning to hold our own suffering with a quality of care and love and responsiveness. And when the heart begins to open with compassion for our own suffering, naturally, without too much effort, what we find is that it flows to others. Compassion is often referred to as a verb. It's a kind of quivering of the heart that responds to any suffering or pain with kind actions, with words, and with gestures. So compassion is responsive. Compassion for ourselves and others, it simply asks, what do you need? Or what do I need right now? And it responds in the moment to any moment of suffering or challenge. When cultivating compassion, the intention is simply to trust the heart, perhaps getting out of our own way more and more and more, and discovering its true radiant nature, always there, but perhaps often hidden or obscured for so many reasons. So right now, I invite you just relax and trust this deep heart, this process of cultivating compassion right now, beginning first and foremost with yourself, which is lifelong. So inviting you all, it's so great to be live streaming. It's such a wonderful experience. And just opening to the chat, and someone shared that, yes, they've experienced suffering, it's no fun. No, it's no fun at all. And we all have ways and strategies to not feel our suffering. But because we tend to numb or distract ourselves, we have all kinds of habitual patterns in which we don't actually feel our suffering because it's no fun. Exactly right. But because those strategies and habit patterns are deeply in place for most of us, we're never able to feel our suffering enough so that in real time, in that moment, in a very authentic way, the heart actually opens like a flower in compassion. Otherwise, compassion is just an abstract concept, unless it really meets a moment of suffering and cares that the compassion blooms like a flower in response. So when we begin to practice compassion more and more, while it's no fun, we start to see that there's a wisdom in it. That there's a wisdom in allowing ourselves to feel just enough of our suffering, not to drown in suffering, but to feel just enough, so that our heart can actually respond for ourselves like a very good friend. And this makes all the difference. So let's move into the practice, and hopefully towards the end we'll reflect with more questions. Please feel free to share them. You might have many reflections and questions at the end of this very deep practice. And while this practice is about opening to all beings, perhaps, just know that you can trust your own heart and see what unfolds for you, and trust the heart's unfolding, starting first and foremost with ourselves. When we can really be there with and for ourselves, suddenly we're more resilient with others. We can really be of service. We can really be of support to others because we have an internal resource of compassion that's always flowing to ourselves. So I'd love to invite you to settle in now into this guided meditation, and feel free to take a moment to feel into this body right now, and in the spirit of self-compassion. How is the body right now, depending on your day, depending on whatever circumstances or conditions in your present moment, or earlier this day, or even in your week? And see if you can, even in the way that you choose your posture, that it can be a compassionate action, that you can feel it in real time. Feel into the body and ask the body, what do you need? What's the best posture? And let the body show you the posture that feels just best and right, that feels compassionate in response and in connection to this body, just how it feels. Perhaps the response is to lie down if you need to, if you're not too sleepy, to surround yourself with soft pillows, or to wrap yourself in a warm, soft blanket. If you have pets that you love and they really comfort you, to invite them into this meditation as an experience of compassion. So take a moment to get all you need to really first, this very natural way, to feel this body, the truth of this body. If there's any discomfort, to respond, to provide as much support as possible to the body, and let that really be a beautiful way for this practice to open up and unfold in a very real way, starting with the body. So when you feel ready, settle into whatever posture feels most compassionate for you right now, in a way that only you can truly know for yourself, for your own body. And if you like, I invite you to close your eyes and see what it's like, depending on your posture, to just sit back a little bit, to lean back and drop down into your felt experience. And we'll take a few moments just to settle into this body, just to bring some mindful, embodied awareness. So take a moment just to feel the body as a whole, hopefully feeling the support of whatever posture really felt best for you. And when you're ready, go ahead and take a nice deep cleansing breath in. The breath can be such a natural anchor, a natural flow, always here, connecting us physically into the flow of life as it really is in this present moment. So take a nice deep breath in, breathing in deeply, and Really feel the nourishment of the breath, and even breathing in this way with intentionality, it can be an experience of self-compassion in which you really feel this breath and allow it to nourish you. Allow it to flow to any part of the body, the heart, the mind. Really drinking it in as an active response. Allow the breath to be a flow of tenderness, of kindness, flowing to you without you even having to work at it or earn it in any way. And when you're ready, go ahead and just breathing out. Allow the whole body to release and relax as you breathe out. Allow the breath to be a cleansing wave that gently flows through the body, starting with the head, the muscles of the face, and this can be a very compassionate experience to the body. Allowing each wave of breath to gently flow and cleanse through the body, down through the neck and the shoulders, and as the breath flows through the body, taking with it any unneeded or any unwanted tension, just let the breath do all of the work for you. Let it flow through the mind muscle, releasing tension in the mind and the brain. See what it's like to let go in that way. Allow it to flow through the heart center, flowing down through the belly, all the way down through the legs. And take as many more deep cleansing breaths as you need, just to allow these gentle waves of breath to nourish as you breathe in and to cleanse the body, releasing, really feeling this in the muscles, the joints, releasing and relaxing the body with every breath. And let this be an experience of self-compassion. Our bodies work so hard for us, and this is a moment to ease and care for this body with every breath. If there's any particular area of the body where there is some pain for you, for whatever reason, allow the breath to flow into that area as a kind of tonic, flowing into that region as responsive care, really flowing into that area, if you like, expanding, allowing for more blood flow and oxygen as you do. Let it be a flow of kindness and care to any region that perhaps in need of some tenderness. And as you breathe out, breathing out any tension, of course, letting go even more and more as best as possible. And then rest gently in the flow of the breath as it naturally is. Allow it to be like gentle waves of breath, continuing to nourish and cleanse, rocking and bathing the whole body internally, letting go more and more. And if you like, as another anchor that establishes a felt sense of mindful presence in this moment, anchoring us into the flow of life. You can also, if you like, with this next breath, as you breathe out, you can feel and allow the awareness to flow down into the lower parts of the body, or whatever parts of the body are connected to the earth, whatever is holding and supporting the body that you can feel right now. And just for a moment, see if you can really allow the whole body, which it already is, allow it to be completely felt, held and supported, and cradled. Feel the support of the earth, holding the body, grounding the body, and for a moment just feeling that wholesome connection. We're always in relationship if we can be present and mindfully aware. So, resting in connection with the earth, a felt sense of that in this moment, as well as the natural flow of the breath, always flowing naturally in and out of the body. Neither of these anchors in our direct experience require any effort on your part. So just rest and see what it's like as an experience of self-compassion, to rest in wholesome relationship and support with the earth, as well as nourishing and cleansing connection with the breath. It's normal, and I'll just say this before we move forward into the practice, that the mind may be busy, and this is so normal. So just acknowledging this. And see if you can, for this meditation period, just for now, allow the activity, the chatter, the stories of the mind, the worries of the mind, the habits of the mind, allow them to very gently flow into the background, like background noise, not the main focus for now. And whenever you notice the awareness drifting away into thinking, to notice, to give yourself credit, and then untangle and return, perhaps to connection to the earth, or return to this breath right now, this one. Whatever holds you, whatever is most connecting and allows you to return to the flow of your direct, present moment experience. Now we'll begin to move into the compassion practice gently, and please make this your own, offering all of this with a lot of humility. Trust your own heart and do whatever feels best for you. But if you feel ready, you can begin to allow the breath to flow into the heart center gently. Just breathing into the warm beating heart with every breath, connecting perhaps to the warmth of the heart, the aliveness of the heart with every breath. And as you do, feel into the good heart that brought you to this meditation, to this live stream right now. Something very deep within you wants the very best for you and perhaps many others. And feel and tap into, as you breathe into this heart, the goodness, the caring that is already here in your own heart that brought you here. And let that act as a natural intentionality, an alignment right now with every breath in this heart of goodness, of care. This is a heart that cares. You can even put one hand on your heart or two hands on the heart just to acknowledge the goodness in any way that feels beneficial and supportive to you as you move into this practice. So connecting to this good heart, we'll begin now to move into some self-compassion. And we'll do this by just very gently see if you can invite a situation in your life right now that is mildly challenging. See if you can just allow a mildly challenging situation to come to mind. So you can try this on and begin to cultivate self-compassion. Perhaps this is a personal situation. Perhaps this is a situation in your work life. Or, of course, perhaps it's a situation in the world, in your town, in your country, what have you. And see what feels best for you right now. Let your heart decide what feels best. And when you're ready, allow this situation to become quite vivid in your mind's eye, really bringing it to life, the experience of this situation that's challenging. And you can really allow yourself to feel just enough, sitting at the edge, if you like, of this situation. Only enough to begin to feel what it is that is painful about it or challenging for you. Now, this takes some courage, but it is an opportunity for the heart to open in care, in compassion. So feeling into this situation, whatever it may be, and beginning to notice where in the body or the heart or the mind there is challenge that you can feel, and you can really allow yourself to feel whatever's hard about this for you in a real way, not in a way to make it worse, but in a way to really respond and take care of yourself. Feel into the truth of this just enough. Sometimes you can just put a toe in or sit at the edge of the experience. And maybe noticing where in your direct experience it's most alive. And this is an opportunity to really say with a compassionate voice, and make sure the voice in which you speak to yourself, an inner voice, an inner tending, let it be warm and tender and real. Oh my, this is hard. Wow. This is not easy. This is actually painful. And see what it's like to just acknowledge it in a warm and tender way, like a good friend would speak to you, the best friend ever. And then you can see if there's a natural quiver in the heart, a warm opening in the heart that cares. And you can just see if this naturally unfolds for yourself. And if it does in any way, allow the heart to respond. First and foremost, you can put one or both hands directly on the area of the body where there's the most discomfort or stress. And it's not to make it go away or to fix it necessarily. It is really just to hold it with care. So feel free to do that and just feel your own warm support if this feels appropriate. Really staying grounded in the experience in the body, in the heart, in the mind, in this situation. Place your hands there, and this is where you can experience compassion, self-compassion, as an action. You can add a bit of movement or pressure if you like. You can also, if you like, gently rock the body, depending on whatever the discomfort may be. Self-compassion, in many ways, is a befriending. It's developing an inner friend that holds and cares for us, especially when we're having any challenge, stress, or pain. It can also be like a quality of self-parenting, holding us, rocking us. And along with gesture and any movement, it's traditional to cultivate self-compassion by adding any words or phrases. So I'll just be offering a few. And you can see how these words land for yourself, depending on this situation. May I be free of suffering. May I be happy and know well-being in this life, no matter what the external conditions. May I hold my pain, sorrow, and stress with tenderness. May I always have everything that I need, always. So make sure that you use words that are just right for you, that really land into the heart, that comfort you no matter what this situation is. I've got you. I've got your back. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. I'll sit with you as long as you need. I'm right here. Now, if you feel that the heart is holding your experience with this quality of compassion that can hold it all, that holds suffering and pain with love, if it feels quite rich, and it really is a choice for you, you can notice if the heart just begins to open with compassion to other beings, perhaps to friends and family, to beings that you know who are in need of compassion, and bring them in to this meditation, bring them all in. If you like, you can create a circle of compassion, including yourself, of all those you care about. It can be those you know or don't know. It can expand as much as feels natural. And you can begin to offer them phrases and just allow it to be a flow of compassion from your heart to theirs, holding it all with care. May we all be free of suffering. May all beings, including ourselves, be happy, be safe, be secure. So in these last minute or so, you can just reflect on what you noticed in this meditation. What was helpful? What was supportive to you? Was the heart able to open in real time when you were able to feel just a little bit of suffering? And was this a lovely experience? And did it flow outward to others more naturally as you opened to yourself? So you can open your eyes now and we can come back together. And thank you so much for joining me in this practice of self-compassion. And just to say a few words that we are never alone ever in any suffering that we may have. It's probably the thing that connects us most deeply is the truth of our common humanity, that we all suffer. And it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with us ever. It simply means that we need love and connection even more than ever. So please join me again on Round Glass Live and join us every single day. Join us again tomorrow or anytime. There's so many options on Round Glass now. It's a wonderful resource. Join us on round.glass and on our app. And I'll be back next Wednesday for my next live session. Until then, be well and hold yourself and others with a compassionate heart. Thank you.